works like that. Bam, we're live. Bam, bam, bam.
That was a triple threat.
What's going on with Hi Heidi Brian is that his beard is larger than his top hair, like the shit up here. And so
top hair?
Yeah, if your beard gets longer than your top
hair
hair,
on my head,
the beard becomes you become religious. You become a religious man. When your beard is larger than your top hair, you're a religious man. You're a Muslim or a Jew or something.
I think it's
tell me I'm wrong. Tell me
those
I'm
are
wrong.
the only religions.
I mean, those are the ones that do the fucked up, like the weird fucked up hair shit. I mean, some Armenian Christians probably do that too. But you know what I mean, like Khabib. Nurmagomedov, the UFC guys, like all those guys, like they got the Muslims got the big old beard and this. Are you Muslim? No, you're Jewy.
Who are you talking to?
You're the only dude here with a beard larger than his top hair. Your beard is larger than your top hair. You've turned into a religious man. You're either a Semite or an anti-Semite. Oh God, now I'm gonna get in trouble. Oy.
Here we go.
No one is surprised by the way this has started.
So how much money can you win in this Dubai Fitness Challenge? Because I think the YouTube station is gonna make like $500 is what I'm guessing this week.
$50,000 for first place man and first place woman.
Dubai, and it's called. I'm pulling up that the contestants now. John, what's up, dude?
What's up?
Look at your lighting in the background. It's kind of got like that brothel reddish.
It's a wall.
Dubai. It's called the Dubai CrossFit Fitness Challenge, and they can use the word. Thanks, Susan. They can use the word.
That's not what it's called.
Okay, what's it called?
Wait, it's right there.
Oh, Dubai CrossFit Championships, and they can use the word CrossFit with that little R next to it because they paid some ducats.
That's right. And championship is singular.
Brian, do they win money for event wins?
I think so. I think so.
But you don't know.
I could check. Yeah, give me a minute. I'll find out.
And I'm going to look at the leaderboard. Is that where I'm going? Where do I find the contestants?
Did you want the prizes first? The prize purse?
I just want to have the leaderboard on my computer. When you find where all the athletes are, I found it earlier today. If you find that, Susan, would you send me over a link?
Yeah. Oh, a link to it? Yeah.
And this is the Crown Prince. I think I saw him on Instagram. Fazaz. This is his event. He's got 12.1 million followers. Is that the?
I don't know. Was that ever confirmed? I don't know. That was just the. That was my investigative skills on the internet. I don't know if I was correct.
Brian, do you know any of that? John, do you guys know any of that? There we go again. There we go. I'm telling you. There we go again. Heidi loves a Muslim.
Oh my gosh.
Why did Matt quit the podcast? Sevan, people with big beards hate Jews. I don't know. That's a little strong. There's a lot of Jews with big beards.
Very true.
I'm going to grow a big beard, and I love a Jew. I love 4 Jews. Ready?
Wait, Brian, was I supposed to receive something here?
Let's do it.
What do you mean?
I don't know, some sort of like a template or list or anything, or?
Oh, that.
December 16th through the 18th. That's a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in Dubai. I believe Brian told me earlier that the event will start at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and end at. Go ahead, Brian.
I'm not sure of the time for Thursday's events yet.
Okay.
But on both Friday and Saturday, what you are saying is accurate.
Okay. So let's just right now with the information we have, we think that Thursday, Friday, and Saturday is at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time will be the Dubai CrossFit Championship. It's December 2021. It's basically coming up. What's today? Today's Monday?
Yes.
Yes.
And the plan is, we've been flirting with the idea of covering this very thoroughly, but most of us have commitment issues, and so we won't know until Thursday morning for sure. But I think it's like we're at the 106% line, and basically we'll be watching these events, and we'll be telling you our opinions on them, and collecting YouTube money off of your views, and then we'll do that 3 or 4 times a day, and we'll cross the finish line on Saturday exhausted. And some of our guests who've been on the show prior will be competing in this event, which is really cool. And most, I guess I'm interested in a lot of them, but one of the big things that we're going to see is Sarah Sigmund's daughter is going to take her body out for a test run for the first time in how long? A couple of years?
No. She had surgery 8 months ago, or something like that.
Okay.
It was during the Open, right? Well, it was during that time.
She doesn't have a boyfriend, and she hasn't competed in anything in 8 months. Or 9 months. So this will be the first time she's taken her body out for a test run. And I am anxious to see.
Nervous, anxious, or excited, anxious?
Excited, anxious, like super excited, like the big, and because we talked to her. I've never watched this event. I've just seen like footage
Really?
on on Instagram of like dudes running in deserts and just the beautiful landscape shots. And another thing that's interesting, are we like Brian, you gave me some insight where the event's going to take place Thursday. Is that public, or is that?
It is.
So they got this mall there, and I've been there, and there's a Shake Shack there, and then right next to the Shake Shack there's a giant glass window, and you can look in through this window. I mean, it's huge, and there's a indoor mountain in the desert, and it's snowing in there, and there's people skiing down this mountain that's like indoors. And I guess the first 2 events are in that facility. Do we? It was like it's not going to be skiing, so are they going to be like running up that? You think?
I think so, yeah. It's Ski Dubai in the Mall of the Emirates. And that mall is... Max El-Haj actually posted on Instagram the other day that he spent like 4 hours walking around it and didn't get to see half of the things he wanted to see. It's a really impressive mall. Anyway, Ski Dubai, they'll have 2 events there, and I think that there will be some component of running up the hill. I know that it's about they told me 19% grade incline. So,
Do we know how big the hill is?
top to bottom, I think it's somewhere between 700 and 1,000 meters.
So it's about what they ran in 2020, the hill in event 2. The 5 people.
Oh, in Aromas?
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah, something like that.
Oh, can we get Adler on the podcast? Can we get Adler on the podcast like ASAP? Wasn't he like we were talking about that? He's
I
competing.
asked you about him.
Souza, can you like DM Adler now and be like, hey, can you come on the podcast in 11 hours and 38 minutes?
They're in Dubai.
Yeah, so that would be perfect for him. That would be 7 p.m. for him. Can you do that?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, cool.
They actually might be looking for something to do.
It's like 7 in the morning right now for them.
Yeah, include like Brian or me in that, so that like Adler like knows who you are. He just doesn't think like you're some dude perving on him.
I honestly might be better to reach out to Caroline.
Who's that?
I feel like
That's his wife.
That's his coach wife.
I feel like I already have his number.
Even better. Okay, so by the way, that mall is not a great shopping experience. I've been in that mall, and it's like missing some, like, at least I was there a few years ago, and it's like missing some things. It's no Scottsdale Mall. Let me tell you something. It's no Beverly Hills, which is weird because you think it would be. It's Dubai, and you hear all this great shit. Even the airport there, I think, had a better mall that was a better mall than that mall. But they did have a Shake Shack there, which was kind of weird. Okay, so in the men's competition, like a half-ass fan like myself doesn't really recognize a bunch of these names. If you talk to Brian, though, and you watch the show, you're about to get excited because Brian's pretty high on Roman Krenikov, and I think that we're going to see John Young is pretty high on him, too. And when he says that, I start to get a little excited, too. I mean, look at the guy's name, Roman Krenikov. And we got Ricky Garard is taking his body out for – is this Ricky's first Spinaruski?
It's his first competition since 2017.
So we're going to see what Ricky looks like when he's not juiced up. And we got Lazar and Luca, which we love them. We know that. Hopefully we're going to try to hitch the show to those horses. We should. Do you know? You should tag him on WhatsApp too, Susan. Tell him we expect a lot from him this weekend. And
Yeah,
then we
I
got
sent
Jet.
him an email.
Okay, cool. And then we got
They both reached out this morning, actually.
Oh, to you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Who,
great.
Ricky did?
No, Lazar and Luca.
Will they make the journey? Are they together for this kind of stuff, Brian? This is like they'll meet and
Yeah, they've been tapering, I think, together at Lazar's gym, and they'll head out there together for sure. Yeah.
And then Sam Stewart was on the show, the kid from Ireland.
Sam Stewart. Yep.
So is there anyone else on here? Well, how do you guys want to do this? You guys want to do your picks, your top 5?
Sure.
Oh, now you have me double tacking. I got to get the list up here. How do you want me to display this list? I've gotten more savvy last time, so I won't display the whole thing at one shot like I did and the whole show.
Is 5 deep enough?
It's your show.
Okay, let's do 5. Here, I just put a link to the morning chalk up for anyone who wants to see the list of the male competitors. It's in the
Susan,
in the
if you
chat.
just go to the men's tab and scroll to the right to column O, you can see John's picks. And I'll just put mine next to his.
Okay, perfect.
Mine look real official next to that chart, doesn't it, Susan?
I was cracking up because it's all these like equations and data. Then you just scroll over. There's just a list of names.
Brian, you tell me, because the women, I think we should do the top 10.
I mean, honestly, the men,
We can do the top 10 for both. There's notable names.
Okay, man, I've really come a long way. I can't believe that just came out of my mouth that I want to do top 10 women instead of top 10 men. But okay, I'll tolerate top 10 men. I used to be a huge men's fan, but I just don't recognize any of these dudes. I like it how there's a Mahmoud and a Mahmed. Mahmoud Shalan and Mahmed El Omda.
Yeah, those guys have competed in Dubai before. One of them is regularly the fittest in UAE, and the other is regularly the fittest in Egypt.
Oh, and what flags are those? Are those both Egyptian flags?
What did I just say?
What are they? What?
I just told you where they're from.
One's UAE and one's Egypt.
I know, but they have the same flag.
Oh,
Right,
is it? Where's the flag?
That's I just asked you that. Yes.
No.
Yes!
Where are you seeing the flag?
Oh, in the morning chalk up. I would send you the link. My text thing is fucking broken on this computer. That's why I posted it in the Let me see if I can.
They're probably. It's probably. I don't know. I don't think I'm looking at the same page as you, but I think it's probably the UAE flag that's displayed there, not the Egypt flag.
Okay.
I think they both reside in the UAE.
Did they reach out to those guys when others dropped out like immediately?
Okay. They were. I mean, they were. I think one of them was always like an intended to be invited.
I'm just wondering why they didn't just do a drop down pecking order when somebody bowed out, like of the games or sanctionals or semifinals. I mean,
they have a very different selection process for doing their invites than other competitions.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
It means there's 10 names that you know, and then there's 10 names you've never heard of.
Meaning that it's like the Rogue Invitational. It's who's best friends with Bill and Katie.
No, they like to have some local competitors. They like to have people who have been loyal to them over the years. They like to have some guys that are young, maybe younger, up and coming athletes. People from, it's generally, this is a small field for Dubai. Usually they have 30 to 40 in each division. So a lot of people turned down the request, and then they just started, inviting people that have been part of their organization. This is their 9th iteration, I think, of the event.
Hey, is that true that North American athletes are avoiding this because of travel?
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with travel, and then secondarily is most people are not going to do both Dubai and Wadapalooza, just given the timing of both of them relative to the start of the season. And if you don't have to travel over there, it's less interruption in your training schedule. Plus, this year, Wadapalooza has a bigger prize purse available than Dubai. So less travel, less interruption of training, and more opportunity for prize money. Potentially. I mean, obviously, the counter argument to that is, well, if everyone's going to Wadapalooza, then the field's lighter in Dubai. And even though it's less money, you have a better chance to win it.
Is there any dude from North America on this list? Oh,
Adler.
Tolo? Oh,
Adler.
he doesn't really count. He's Canadian. He just wants to get out of Canada so bad. He just wants to get on an airplane and eat some food.
I think that's it then. Yeah, Tola and Adler.
And who is Tola? Do I know this dude? Was this guy at the games?
You know,
he was at the games as on the demo team. He snatched like 320 pounds.
Okay.
He's probably the only guy who can give Guillermo a run.
Maybe he did 330. He did it so it was it's ridiculous.
All right, let's do it. Let's get through the. Oh, and who day's there, dude? Okay, let's just say who's gonna win this. Who's gonna win this?
You want to go first, Brian?
Well, we agree on this one. Roman Krenikov is the favorite to win this competition, hands down, in my opinion.
Am I sharing the list?
Yeah.
I just clicked his name. And why do you say that? Do you know the workouts already? Have they announced the workouts?
I do know the workouts. They have not announced the workouts. I know them so that I can prepare for some stuff for the people who need to know about it. The commentators, MCs, people like that.
And you would love to say that Lazar's going to win it, but he is the Patrick Vellner of this competition for Brian. So you must be very confident that Krenikov's going to win it.
Yeah, I mean, Roman. If you haven't read any of the stuff that we've put out this week already, he's won like 4 competitions. The last 4 competitions he showed up to, he's won the Russian Federation, the Madrid CrossFit Challenge, Butcher's Lab team competition in Denmark, and the Last Chance qualifier online. And he's also competed in Dubai before. 2 years ago, he was there. Brent Fikowski won that year. Patrick Vellner was second, and 9 points behind Vellner was Roman Krenikov, and he was also 98 points ahead of Björgvin Carl Gudmundsson. And I mean, it's clearly those 3 guys. And when you're talking about being in company with Fikowski and Vellner and 100 points clear of a guy who's got like 6 top 8 finishes at the games and 2 podiums, if we'd been able to see this guy at the games the past couple of years, people would know him. Like everyone would know him because he'd be up there in the top 5 and top 10.
He would?
Yeah, he was very close to Fikowski and Vellner in 2019, and that's with a major hole. He wasn't very strong in 2019, and he has worked on that a lot.
So this guy's a phenomenon we've never seen in the history of CrossFit. We have proof that someone outside of the community is capable of going to the games, but he just never is at the games for whatever reasons.
Well, we've seen him compete at the European Regional, and he won it. But yes, he's been unable to get to the games in live competition format. He did compete in
because he didn't qualify, but because of other reasons.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he did compete in 2020 in the online format.
And he won the Last Chance qualifier, but he wasn't able to come.
And what is he? Is he a strength athlete? Is he an endurance athlete?
No, he's an endurance athlete. He's probably the best endurance person there is in CrossFit.
Wow.
For the men, yeah.
For the men, yeah.
So basically, he's a machine guy. You're saying if we see a rower, an erg, a bike, like that thruster, the thruster bike one, he would have done great at.
He would have done really well at that, yeah.
Man, okay.
There's not very much he's not going to do well at anymore.
Do you know rowing paces at all, Sevan?
Kind of.
So for 1,000 meters, he rowed a 124.
Okay. Wow. Wow. How tall is he?
I'd say he's 5'11". I don't know what his bio says, but that's my guess from standing next to him.
And has anyone talked to him? Does the Morning Chalk Up interview him? Who interviews him?
I don't think he speaks much English.
No, he doesn't, but he does have a translator. Armin Hammer did a focus piece on him during the Filthy 150 in the beginning of the 2018-2019 sanctional season. He's actually a great break dancer. We got to see him break dance on the competition floor after he won that competition.
So we don't know anything about him? Oh, wait, I know that guy right there. Who's that guy in the maroon shirt right there? Who's that? Oh, yeah, I had this.
Jared Graybill.
Yeah, I had this guy in the podcast. Okay.
Yeah.
The Zelo Games guy. Okay.
Yep.
124 per 500 meters for people in the comments. He held a 124 pace, not 1,000 in 124.
So he's gonna win it. Are you guys pretty certain of that?
There's The one question mark is obviously Ricky Garard. He's the only guy that we don't know about relative to Krenikov in this field. And so if someone can beat him, it's it's got to be Ricky. But outside of that, yes, I think Roman is I mean, like I said, I don't think he's going to do very poorly on anything that's thrown at him. And he's the type of guy that could win half of the events.
Man, it's so bizarre that there's someone out there who's that good who hasn't been to the games to me. And do we know if he's butthurt? Is he pissed? Is he like?
I think he's a generally positive person.
He's okay with not going to the games.
And this is the first time we've seen him in a while as far as the competition goes, not a qualifier because of COVID.
2 years. 2 years almost to the day.
How old is he?
26, I think.
Oh, man. So he can show so he can show wow, so he's got 4 or 5 years in him. He can show up. If he can make it to the games this year, he can show up and be a whole
Well, this is a cool
factor.
thing. I mean, you're looking at guys in this competition. Roman's 26, Ricky's 27, Adler's 27, Lazar's 25, Willie George 28, Karavis 26, Houdet 27. Like there's a bunch of these guys that are pretty good, getting better, and they're all right in that age range, 25 to 28.
And in the games, everybody focused on the 30-year-olds, Vellner, Olsen, BKG, and then the young guns out there. And everybody here is in that middle section, and they will compete just as much. Just they haven't gotten talked about.
How about these local guys, this Mahmoud and Mahmed? How will they do? Are they top 10?
Last and second to last, most likely, but it's not for. They're very talented. I mean, it's just probably how it is.
And how about this guy, Fabian? Where's he from?
Spain. Fabian Benito Celis. He's pretty strong. He's actually not bad. He was 6th place in whatever semifinal he was in this year. So he was 1 spot away from making the games.
Is this the guy I sent you his Instagram, Brian? And I'm like, who's this?
No, it was a different Spaniard.
Oh, do you recall who that was?
I think it was Dan Ty that you were asking me about. He generally competes on a team.
Okay, and that guy was a beast.
Yeah, there's some crazy good Spaniards, actually, male and female. No, she's not in this field. Yeah, they have a team actually that's really good, and they were actually the top seeded team in Europe this year. And European teams did really well at the games, but they chose their best male and best female chose to compete in the semifinals as an individual, so they disbanded their team after ranking first in the quarterfinals in all of Europe.
And Fabian doesn't look like he's juiced up. He looks like a normal dude. I mean, a normal yoked dude, but he doesn't got like weird like.
Yeah, and he's he's good. He was there. He was there in Dubai as well last time. Middle of the pack. Some good events, some bad events. I think he's only getting better, but again, I think he'll be in the 10 to 15 range in this field.
Okay, and second place.
Well, we have a little discrepancy here. I have Ricky and then Adler, and John has Adler and then Ricky.
Wow. Okay, so you guys think Ricky still has it though?
Well, last time we saw him, he was the 3rd fittest man in the world,
Right.
With drugs, but still, nonetheless.
Yeah.
No, and the other thing is that he was only 23 years old. He was raw. He was reckless. But there was in 2017, all of the men and all of the women were able to do all of the workouts. And he had 2 event wins and 8 top 10 finishes as a rookie. And those numbers are pretty impressive. And if you look at the events where he did well on, it's not like he was just like, he was very good on the endurance events, but he did well on a variety of other things also. It seems like he's been training, consistently and with a intention to come back for majority of the time that he's been suspended. So he does all the workouts. When Rogue's going on, he's always done all the Rogue workouts the same weekends, and he posts his times and he posts his scores, and they're not the best times and not the best scores, but they're competitive. It's a lot of stuff that would be like 5th to 10th place finishes against the best 20 guys in the world. And if you have a bunch of 5th and 10th place finishes against that field, then you're Bjorgen Karl Gudmundsson.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had a G5 and I could fly Colton Mertens out there.
I think Colton would do really good.
Don't you know someone who might?
Yeah. He hates CrossFit.
But does he love pig farmers?
Probably. God, it would be a fortune to fly out there on a private jet so far away. Hey, I'm surprised that Ricky only has 87,000 followers. I just figured that if Ricky's like COVID or politics, I just feel like he splits the pack. Like he should have a huge following, and like half the people hate him and half the people love him. You know? Are you surprised he doesn't have a bigger following?
Yeah, yes and no, but I would say yes. Yeah, I mean, I am.
I mean, like you look at someone. I'm not. I don't. I know something going to get.
I
shit
can't.
for this,
It's
but-
really surprising. He has less than you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean,
You would
seriously.
figure Australia would be behind him too, like all of Australia, because he's the only guy other than Newberry who's done anything from Australia.
Well, and just because I think people like to follow people they hate, even so, I would give them just 100,000 followers for people just to hate them.
Plus, Dave reposts his stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's not a jerk. He's not a jerk. He's not a jerk. I've all him and his brother are cool as shit. Actually, there's no jerk in him at all. At least I've never seen it. There's no asshole in him at all. At least I've never seen it. And his brother's cool as shit too. I've always enjoyed them. Like they're nice dudes to talk to. But people don't like supporting him. I mean, look at what's his name? Who's the guy who rode the bike? Armstrong.
Mhm.
Okay. So do either of you want to budge? You're sticking with Ricky. Are you hating on Ricky?
I think Jeff's going to win second.
You do.
Yeah,
And Adler has a lot of confidence coming out of Rogue, huh?
I'm sure.
What did he get at Rogue?
He got third.
Yeah, and he made some moves in the final event.
And it was arguably a games level field.
And what is Dubai like? How many events is it?
I think there will be 8 or 9 scored events this year.
And why do people call it the beatdown?
Well,
It's
it's
a-
a little bit less this year than typical.
No, it has been less. I think 2015, 16, it was like 15 events, including like 2-hour desert run and like incredibly heavy barbell stuff and crazy skill volume gymnastics. Like it was really, really tough. Fraser went there one year and won, and he was like, dude, I don't know if I can go back. Like it was like, aggressive. But they backed off from that in the sanctional years. Now it still was 10 events, and it was still a little bit longer and more intense than most of the sanctionals, but it was not what people who were around back then remember. And I think that they've like lingered whatever stigma about that event has lingered longer than it's deserved to.
And do they know that? And they tried to get rid of it.
They actually last season, before they had to cancel, they were going to do an entirely different format for their competition than we've really ever seen before, and it just wasn't able to happen because of COVID response.
And is it going to be like that this year? Oh, is that his wife? Scroll down. I know that chick from the games, right? Is that his wife?
They're engaged, yeah.
Oh, I know her from what's her name?
Caroline Lambre. She's awesome. Yeah, she's there's not a ton of female coaches coaching games athletes, but she's one of them.
I'm pretty sure she used to do something.
Yeah. She volunteered at the games going back to I think 2015 or 16.
Okay. Yeah. Some I recognize the shit out of her. She's someone I've definitely chatted with in the pit. Was she media?
Yeah, I can't remember what her original jobs were.
And she was pretty outgoing. She was pretty like. There's a lot of shy people there, and everyone's trying to stand out of everyone's way. But she was pretty like forthright. Like, hi, how are you? Like, very open. What's he like? What's Adler like? Is he introspective? Is he introvert?
Yeah, he's a quiet guy. I mean,
yeah.
subtle
He's opinionated,
humor.
though.
There's some topics that'll get him going for sure. Yeah.
Does he speak English or is he French only?
Very good English.
Okay.
But they won't hesitate to speak French in front of you if you're the only one there that doesn't speak French.
So Caroline is his wife's a Canadian too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess I don't think you have much chance with anyone out of Canada if you're Canadian. You should know that. Sorry. You're stuck in that. You're just stuck over there. That's got to be your breeding pool, your mating pool. We do a whole podcast on why that is. Okay, so I like it. I'm excited for Adler. I think I want him to take second. I want it to be Lazar, Adler, and Ricky Garard. Those are my. Oh shit, Luca. Sorry, it's not your time. It's not your time.
Should we start Sevan's list on the side here?
Yeah, take Roman straight off of it. Put him at the bottom.
No, I like Roman.
Just add Travis Mayer.
Okay, and so you have. Oh, these are the list. I've just kept looking at these, and I don't even know what you guys were doing. Okay, and then we got Lazar as fourth.
We both agree on that.
Okay. And yeah, Brian does like Houdet. Brian was on Houdet's jock at the games too. So
I got Houdet ranked
left
higher.
side
That's
is
my list.
Oh, okay.
Why do you have him so high, John? Patrick Clark picked him third.
Patrick Clark picked Houdet third.
Yeah.
Well, good luck with that, Patrick Clark.
You got him fifth.
Why do you got him up there?
He is one of the most beautiful lifting technique that I've seen. Everybody is in amazement of Guillermo. Houdet's technique is better than Guillermo's. He's just not as strong. And I mean, and there's a difference in that. If you watch him move, he moves so fluently, and you can tell a lot of work has been put into it. And I just think he's kind of a late bloomer, and he's on the rise. Every competition we've seen him do, he's gotten better and better. And I think he's coming.
Does he speak English?
Yeah.
Is it good?
It's
I don't
right.
want anyone who doesn't speak English in the top 5, because then, like, how the fuck am I going to interview them? It's bad for our show.
Yeah. So put Roman sixth.
Yeah.
This guy definitely doesn't speak English.
Yeah, and you know what's great? I can't. Houdet looks really young too, but he's not really young, right? What'd you say? He's 26, 27?
27, yeah.
Yeah, man, he looks like he's 18. Okay, and you have Tola up there, huh, Brian? And John has him pretty low.
I mean, I guess ninth. I have him fifth. Yeah, Tola, I think, is going to surprise a lot of people this weekend. I mean, he's obviously incredibly strong. I don't think he's been lifting at all this year, actually. I still think he'll place, top 3 at worst, and if there's a heavy lifting event. His gymnastics is incredible to begin with. He actually won a ring muscle up handstand walking workout the last time that there was a Dubai CrossFit Championships, and he weighs about 15 pounds less than that now. And he's been just crushing his cardio because he knows that's a deficiency.
What event are you talking about?
Thank you.
Because I don't think he won the event.
You think Vellner won the event?
Vellner won and Koski was second, and Tola wasn't even close.
Okay.
Good. This is what the show's about. And Luca struggled at the games, and you have Luca up there too, or struggled. Not at the games, at the semifinals.
Yeah, and
didn't he actually fall apart in one of the events? I mean, just like really shit the bed.
I think he just game planned for it wrong. Kind of like Hopper at the games, and there were events he should do well at that he didn't, and I think that happened to Luca, and I don't think he ever recovered from it. Same thing happened to Taylor Self in the semifinals. It happens to guys, but I have heard Lazar say Luca is a better runner than him, and which means his endurance is on par with Lazar's, if not better. And I think Luca's a lot better than people think. He's just not as good as Lazar.
All right. Hey, where would Colton Mertens be if he was in this event? And would we have heard his name yet? Where would you stick him?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Brian.
14th.
Wow.
Oh,
wow.
really?
Hook me up, John. Hook me up. Man, Colton's taking a beating on this show. He took a beating earlier today when we had Bergeron on.
Gosh,
Just
that was such an exact placement. I would have him like 8 through 10. I'm going to go with 8.
Let me see those lists again. Let me see where John got him. Did you like Bergeron's, Brian, his kind of like his list about going to the games: age, height, training, how fast you adapt, dedication, mental monster, and resilience. Did you like that?
Yep.
Yeah, I loved it too. You'd have him 14th. We don't. You have him like off the list, and you would have him like somewhere between Houdet and Luca. Good on you, John. You're a good dude. All right, I'm done with the dudes. Is there anything else you want to say about the dudes?
I do think people.
Wait a
will
second.
enjoy-
Henry Happalappin went to the games. How is he not on this up here? And how about Uldis? How do you guys not? And Sam Stewart? How do you not have games guys? Just like
So,
how is Willie George up there? And
Willie George? Well, Willie George.
is really good.
Willie George is another wild card here because this is his first competition back from a surgery as well. But from what we know about him in the past, he's, this is where his potential would place him on this list. I think as a minimum in the 6th or 7th spot. And that if he was actually back to, the kind of athlete that we saw at the games, the one year he was there, he would be pushing for the top 4,
Was he
3,
top
3 or
10
4.
at the games?
Yeah,
Brian?
he was either 9th or 10th. Yeah.
I mean, top 10 at the games is better than anybody below him have ever done. By a lot.
Does Dubai do swimming?
They've done swimming every year since at least 2015, and it does not look like there will be swimming this year.
Where do they swim at? In a pool?
They have swum in pool before. In the sanctional years, they swam in the ocean.
Someone needs to pull up a map. I fucking know. I forget where Dubai is. Which ocean did they swim in? You mean the sea? They don't got
yeah.
the ocean. Okay.
No, but I do think this competition has almost every single strongman in the CrossFit world, except for Guillermo, that has made noise at the games or other competitions. It's got Tola, it's got Bronislaw, it's got Adler. Willie Georges is very strong as well. It's got a lot of the guys that people don't typically see that have shown out in a semifinal or a sanctional, but not quite the games.
You said in the beginning that these guys were all invited.
Yeah, it was invite only this year. They did not do a qualifier.
I wonder how they put this list together here. They if there's any like logic to the order that they put people. They have Alex. Oh, is it alphabetical order by first name? Okay, it's alphabetical order by first name. All right. All right. So how are they going to do? How are these games guys going to do? How is Sam, Uldis, and Happalappin going to do?
I think they'll all just be outside the top 10, 11 through 15, 11, that area.
Not as good as what Mertens would do.
I don't know, but actually, I think I have Sam Stewart in the bottom 5, but Happalainen and Uldis, I think, could be 12, 13, 14.
Is there anyone you guys think that's going to surprise us at the games next year? Do we know who the next Justin Medeiros is?
Surprise us at the games next year.
Like, is there
Ricky
any who
or Roman, Ricky and Roman both, if they were to come.
But there's no new kid on the block that everyone's like, holy shit.
There might be.
Who's that, Brian?
I got some people I've been watching the off season, but it's not time for that.
Oh, do you think we're gonna see him on a team, Brian?
Who?
This person, these people you're scouting? Will we see them creep into the team competition first, or?
I'm not sure. I know that there are a lot of teams being discussed in the off season as well, though.
We already know who's going to win the team. It's Mayhem Empire's winning again.
Let me know the odds you want on that. I might be willing to make a wager.
I heard Noah and Travis are trying to start a team.
Who?
I'm just making noise. I said Noah and Travis.
Oh.
John's starting rumors over here.
What if Travis and Colton Merton started a team? I'd probably go to the games.
That would do it, right?
Okay, is there anything else you want to say about the men? Let's get over to the women. There's a lot to talk about there. Andrea Nisler, Emily Rolfe, Emma Carey. Oh my goodness, Emma Carey is going. Can we get her on the podcast? Is she old enough to be on this podcast?
Real quick, let Brian make his put his women in there. He doesn't have his women on the sheet.
This is fascinating to me that Emma Carey's going. This is the only her and Andrea Nisler. Are they not friends, are they? It's fascinating to me that women are going to this and that the men aren't going. But I'm guessing that they both think that they can win it. God, that would be awesome if Emma Carey won this, wouldn't it?
It would be.
No chance with Laura and Kristen there.
Probably not. But if she pulled it off, it would make me rethink things.
She could do podium.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there's a lot of dark horses, right? You got Sam Briggs. No one knows what Sarah's going to do. I guess Thury's there. She's not really a dark horse. She's proven. Man, yeah,
I want Sarah to do good.
You do? I
Yeah,
want her not to get hurt. I want her not to get hurt.
I want that too. But I tell you what, if she was Sarah from last time we saw her, 2019, I would pick her to win over Laura.
Souza. So, Emma. Wow, that's saying a lot, John. That's crazy. That's crazy. Souza. So Emma Carey, Lazar. Was there anyone else? I felt like there was some other dude we talked about maybe getting.
Jeff Adler.
Jeff Adler.
I already sent him a text though.
Okay. So will you bang on Emma Carey and who's the other one?
Jesus.
There was some dude. Emma Carey, Adler, Lazar. Bang on all of them. Even if Brian's banging on Lazar too, just keep knocking on his door. Let's harass him, especially because he does that WhatsApp shit. What's up with these people who say, I'm like, hey, can we text? And they're like, no, it's too expensive.
You think you could get Ricky on, Sevan?
I didn't. Oh yeah, he actually reached out to the Real Sevan Podcast Instagram, which I don't run.
He messaged me last night.
Okay, let's get him on too.
Yeah, I was gonna try to line it up and make it a surprise, but
look at these names, people. People are throwing maybe Dallin Pepper. Maybe Dallin Pepper will do something in the off season that'll be just crazy. Hey, when I say that, I stare at Brian the whole time to see if Brian's gonna have a twitch. Oh shit.
Dallin Pepper is a great person to keep your eye on.
Yeah, he's super young, right?
21.
Yeah, it's nuts.
We
had him on the show, right? That was probably the most vanilla show we've ever done. Yes, Sevan, we did. Oh, and we have Gabriella Magawa. Oh, yeah. This women's event is crazy.
No, the women's field is really good. Even with Haley dropping out, which would have been fun.
Brian, give us a talk about the women's event, like National Geographic. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here at the Dubai Championship CrossFit Championships, and there's a ton of horses in this race. Tell us, go nuts. Give us 10 minutes of just barf on us, or don't.
Well, it's there's not, again, just like with the men's side, there are not a lot of women from North America competing. That's Emma Carey and Emma Lawson coming from Iceland, and then Andrea Nistler coming from the U.S. I think that's it. So they have two men. But as we've talked about plenty of times previously, the North American men in general are better than the North American women relative to the European men and the European women. So the fact that there's primarily European athletes competing here just inherently means, for what the sport is right now, that the women's field is going to be stronger. And so we have, Kristen Holta, who's a podium finisher at the games, Sarah Sigmundsdottir, Laura Horvath, all three of them and Sam Briggs. So you've got 4 podium finishers from the games, all of whom would come from Europe. And then you also have Gabby Magawa, who's obviously just finished 3rd at Rogue. So it was a little bit of, it's not the maybe the Annies and the Catrins, but these women are basically what they used to be in terms of the best of the best from Europe, and they're all competing here this week. Obviously, the circumstances for them are a little different. Kristen Holt is right at the end of her career. Sam Briggs, same thing. Sarah Sigmundsdottir coming back from injury.
No, Sam Briggs' career was over 2 years ago, and Kristen Holt is at the end of her career. Sorry, Sam. I know it's not nice. It's a great book. Check out Sam Briggs' book. It's a great book, and we had her on the podcast, and she's wonderful. Still doesn't mean that her career wasn't over 2 years ago. And Gabriella Magawa, let's just be fucking frank. She's what she did at Rogue is she showed that in that short period of time between the CrossFit Games and Rogue that she got even better.
No, she really surprised at Rogue. She's a monster. I think
which is hard because she was great at the games, right? But she looked even better at Rogue, didn't she?
I will say I've always kind of seen her in Laura's shadow, and I'm like Rogue kind of like got her out of that shadow.
The Rogue event?
Yeah. Because she's always seemed like just like Laura to me, but Laura was better as far as like what type of athlete they are.
Yeah.
And that did not feel like the case at Rogue.
I mean, I was just checking our picks prior to Rogue. You know, I had her 4th and John had her 6th. It's not like it was like that crazy that she finished 3rd. She's gotten to the point now where she's regularly in the top 5 conversation when everyone's there.
But before the games this year, you wouldn't have said that, right? I mean, you trained with her a little bit. You saw her a little bit. But you were talking about her a little bit before you went and trained with her, and then you went out and trained with her, right? And then you were like, "Yeah, fuck." You came back and you're like, "This girl's gonna crush it."
Yeah. I mean, it was really disappointing that she didn't get to do more than one event in 2019. She was already really good, and she had. That season, she'd placed 4th at Dubai, I think. And 4th in Dubai. And she finished in the top 8 in every single workout. And none of the women on the podium could say that. They all had at least one workout worse than her. The reason we only got to see one is because she had one weakness, and it was legless rope climbs. And we haven't actually seen her in live competition do any legless rope climbs since then. So I don't know if she's improved on them or not. Outside of that, she's pretty much solid.
She handled
Brian's
ruck
lost
rope
his...
climbs.
Say that again?
Though. I said she handled the ruck rope climbs very well, though, better than people who are good at rope climbs, legless rope climbs at Rogue. So I think it's a weakness she's improved upon.
Brian's always got some weird picks, like he put Hopper like 2nd for the games, right? Like he's got like, it's weird because it makes him like human, unfortunately, less Spock. But look who he has at number 10. I don't even know who this person is, but soon as I saw that flag, whatever that country is and that name, I'm like, that person like knew someone to get into this event. Like
you're talking about number 8,
Manon, and like
he's talking about 8.
Like no or whatever. Yeah, that like, what are you doing, dude? What you used to date her? Like, what's going on here? that you can't have a flag with stripes going up and down.
Belgium? It's
place
Belgium.
In the top 10.
It's Belgium.
That's Belgium.
What?
You're telling me that's Belgium's flag? But Matt, I don't believe that. Can you confirm or deny that that's Belgium? Anganese Manon.
Oh, and I'm bringing her up here.
It's very good cycling in Belgium.
Anganese Manon. That is not Belgium. Promise you, ladies and gentlemen, that is some island next to Jamaica. You see,
this is the flag in question.
Oh shit.
Oh, I've seen her. I've seen her do Olympic lifting.
It's not looking good for me.
Yeah, I think Brian's got it.
see if you dig a little further. Just type in Belgium flag. Let's get
so Sevan, I had no idea who that was either until we clicked on her Instagram.
it's
oh shit. Oh shit. That's a European flag. Man, that country is confused.
What are you talking about? France has 3 vertical lines as well.
Yeah, but at least they got the colors right.
Anyway, no, she was 11th in Dubai 2 years ago. She competed at semifinals this year. She was in the top 10. She was 6th place at the last chance qualifier. I mean, she's not a nobody. She's just like that next tier down of European women. And like I've been saying, this is someone who could probably do better than the bottom 5 American women at the CrossFit Games. But because the American women still get 20 spots and Europe only gets 10, we don't get to see these athletes at the games.
Now, I have a question, Brian. Is she an Olympic lifter who does CrossFit, or a CrossFitter who does Olympic lifting? Because I know she's pretty serious in the Olympic lifting world.
I don't know. She is a good lifter. I don't know what she prioritizes.
Quick
That-
Google. Type in
that
like
make-
Olympic. Type in Olympic team.
Was she the heaviest lifter? Or second. She had the second heaviest recorded clean and jerk when we did our we were scouting for the Olympic lifts, and she's among the strongest women there.
That makes a difference, though, because if she prioritizes one over the other, then I don't think she's going to be great in CrossFit.
She gets her vitamin D. She's working out with the sun on her. Hey,
Not great in CrossFit. I just told you she did well enough to make the last chance qualifier.
elite, making the jump to elite.
yeah,
Well,
Brian's
we'll see.
confused. I'm going with you. He just does that to make himself feel human. Just puts like something in there. He knows her. Let me hear you say her name, Brian.
I think it's Magnon Angonis.
Magnon Angonese. But
French
Angonese is,
influence on Belgium.
but Angonese is her first name, right?
Angonis Magnon.
Yeah, Angonese Manon. Oh yeah, you have it backwards here. Isn't that interesting? Because you don't want Angonese to be your first name. I don't want it to be your first name either. I want it to be your last name. Look at you, just took like creative authority. Do you see that?
Please pull up her CrossFit page.
Instagram?
No, her CrossFit page where she creates her own athlete profile.
We're getting down to the bottom of this. Brian's like, I got her name right.
Why Laura third?
I have an answer for that. She lists her own first name as Magnon. So, I don't know. Anyway, why do I have Laura third? I think that...
Oh, let's look at the list again. Oh, that's strong. Hold on, Brian. Look at her picture. That is strong. Is that a real animal? What is that animal? Wow.
Shark.
That's a great white shark.
Wow. Okay. I get it.
Belgium.
Wow.
28.
Had you seen that before, Brian?
Yeah.
That influenced you for sure. That's crazy. That's that's CrossFit. That's on CrossFit Games page. Wow, she's a beast. That's Tia she's eating right there. She's the shark and that seal is Tia.
She's been around for a while. She's been doing this for a long time. She's a good, she's
Put
good.
her number one on Sevan's list.
Yeah.
Nope, we haven't found out about her English speaking abilities.
Hey,
The only prerequisite.
Yes, it is the only prerequisite. Do we have any dudes competing in the female division at this event?
I had no idea where that question was going.
I'm going to answer John's question about Laura Horvat and
Okay.
why I have her third. And the reason why I have Laura third is...
You think it's a silly question, but it's coming. It's coming. I'm ahead of my time. Like Dallin Pepper, he's ahead of his time.
that I think most of the women here in the top, basically the top 4 women, when I'm assuming
all women.
Sarah's relatively healthy, the top 4 women are going to have a majority of top 8 finishes. And I think that Laura is most likely to run into an obstacle that will have her score one event outside of the top 12 or 15, and that she won't be able to make up those points.
Okay, and that one event is going to have some form of handstand push-up, correct?
If that pops up, and the reason why I don't think it'll be a bottom 3 finish is because I think there are enough. If a strict deficit handstand push-up shows up, that's the thing that would hurt her the most, or a parallettes. I think there's other women that will struggle with it too. But
Wait, let me see that list again, please. Sorry, keep going, Brian.
And I just think that the points she'll give up in that event have the potential to keep her outside of or off the top spot of the podium, or out of the top 2.
Oh, John, you are gonna fuck Brian up at this event.
Gabby struggles at those as well. Not as bad as Laura, but she also struggles at those. If you look back at Rogue, whenever they had the strict handstand push-up event, Laura was really bad. Emma Carey was really bad, and Gabby was just a little ahead of them. A bunch of women were ahead of her too. So Gabby being first and Laura being third, I mean, that's a big gap. That's a big placement difference over one event that she also struggles at.
Who's Karen Frey? Sorry, John. Who's Karen Frey? Do I know her? Was she games athlete?
Karen withdrew.
Very sad news for me.
What's her Instagram?
We both had her top 10. I think I had her like 6th. I don't know where Brian would have had her.
Second.
Is
You
it
got her
is
second?
it Kara _ Frey? Does she have 8,100 followers?
That could be her, yeah.
Oh yeah. 2020 CrossFit Games for. Oh, she was at the games this year.
She was not at the games this year. She's been at the games before.
Oh, last year. Okay, 2020, 14th place. Oh, and she took second at this event in 2019.
Mm-hmm. No, she's really good and not known.
She's the best example of a European woman who was, I think, robbed of not being at the games this year. The 5 women who beat her, she got 6th place in the semifinals she competed in, and the 5 women from Europe who beat her all placed 13th or better at the games. 13th or better. And she's better in live competition than online.
And that's why Brian wrote the article that European women need more spots. And that's in Morning Chalk Up if anybody wants to check that out.
European women need more spots. More spots in his contacts on his iPhone. Okay, let's look at the list again. How does he not have Laura higher? I do not know how you don't pick Laura no matter what. Is this the number of events thing again, Brian? That I always don't understand exactly. But then you have to remind
I just
me.
have a grudge at her for not saving your phone number.
Oh.
I mean, it's the same argument I had for putting her 3rd at Rogue, and that was right.
What? That there just weren't a lot of events?
That a big hit, the women at the top, they're really consistent and consistently good. I mean, Kristen Holte, if Gabby and Laura both have an event that they struggle like, Kristen Holte could win this thing.
And the field is just not big enough or good enough to middle spots for people like Holte.
This is exactly what I thought, Katie. Her profile does. I did get a Kate Gordon vibe from her. I don't know why. I got that too, though. That was weird. Look at Heidi. Heidi's tapping, Brian. She has to go to sleep. Bye, Heidi. Okay, so Laura Horvath and Gabby. John has Laura. Brian has Gabby. Then John has Gabby as 2nd, and then Brian has Kristen Holte, and then you have Laura's 3rd, and you have Sarah Sigmund's daughter 3rd. And my understanding, and I feel like I'm not getting a straight answer on it, is that the reason why Brian is putting Laura low is because she is possibly the best CrossFitter there in a 15 event competition, but in an 8 event competition, if she takes a big hit on something with handstand push-ups, she won't have the time to come back. And then my follow-up question to both you guys is, I don't know how you have Sarah in the top 10. I know she's amazing, but from the interview, I got the feeling that she's just going out there just to throw the old pigskin around, just to see what's going on. Do you guys know something? Are you texting with her? Are you DMing her? Did you guys hear something? And she did say she set a PR in her, I don't know what it was, 2,000 meter run or something, mile time. Yeah, which is crazy.
I just, obviously the weekend could go any direction for her, but I'm assuming that they're wise enough to make a decision that they're healthy enough to compete. I don't think she's the type that can just take the floor and go through the motions. And so I think if she's healthy enough to compete this weekend, that she'll be out there competing. And I think that when she's competing in this field, it's good enough for a top 5, even first competition back.
John, do you know something?
I wish I did. I agree with Brian, and it was just a heart pick for me. I just want her to do good. And if she ended up getting 3rd where I have her, that'd be amazing. And I would have called something amazing. And that's why I did it. I did the same thing with Annie, and it worked out. So that's why I did that.
Oh, I wanted to ask Ben about Annie.
Also, when you tear
I wonder
if
we can get Annie on the show. I wonder if Annie would come on the podcast.
Only one way to find out.
Yeah. I asked James Townsend to come on, by the way, Brian.
Good. That'd be great to have him.
Yeah, it would be great. I got crickets. I'll ask him again. I'll wait a few weeks. I'll bug him. I think I've met him before. Okay, let's go back to the list. Where were we? And how about Nisler? Why can't Nisler win this? She got the Empire Mayhem Empire pedigree. Where will she fall short?
Nowhere. It's just she's going against some of the best women in the world.
I mean, there's just people faster, stronger, and better endurance, but she's still amazing.
Yeah, my thing about Nisler is she's a monster, but she always goes team and she doesn't do individual. So it's hard for me to say that she's going to be better than women who have done individual and have done well, because team is different than individual.
I wonder why she's doing that. I wonder, does she normally do individual? Like outside of the team stuff?
No, she was on team with OC3 before Mayhem, right, Brian? With Taylor Williamson. Her and Taylor Williamson both have done team for a very long time, and neither one of them do individual. And they're the best women in team for the most part. But if they're scared of individual, it's hard for me to say they're going to do amazing in an individual competition, even though they are amazing.
She said something. And were you on that podcast, Brian?
Yeah,
with Nisler.
I was.
She said something about she would never do individual again, and then you called her on it, right?
I don't know, but she has done off-season individual competitions throughout her career. She's not foreign to that platform. She'll do really well. It's just like you're talking about the best of the best, and it's she, incredible as she is, I don't think she can beat those girls.
I think basically what happened was she's like, hey, I'm not doing individual ever again. And Brian's like, well, there's a competition in 3 weeks that I saw you're signed up for. So except for that one. And now here she's a lot closer. I mean, it's not a dig at her at all. I'm glad she's doing it. That's probably how I would do it too. I would deny that I do that shit and then do it. It's like my kid. It's like my kid at a jiu-jitsu tournament. He tells me he's not going to do it. And then next thing you know, he's out on the floor. It's like, yeah, that's how I do it too.
It's like half the people that walk into the gym, oh, I'm not doing this workout today. 30 minutes later,
they're
asking me for a good strategy.
Bonita, doesn't that mean pretty? Isn't that pretty in Spanish? No, that's bonita. Bonita. Okay. Thank you. And does that mean what's CA mean? They're from California, or that's cash? What's CA? Bonita.
Good question.
CA. CA. Currency Americana?
That sounds good.
Okay. Benita, are you a girl, and are you from California? Nisler finished 10th in the 2020 stage 1 of the games, right?
Yeah.
Oh, please don't tell me it's Canadian dollar. Serious?
Why? That's good.
Oh.
That's like $650 US.
Girl, yeah, that's a great name for a girl. Bonita. Bonita. All right, let's see the list again. Anything weird, anything that we should all be looking at for the women's competition?
I just think actually I can't remember actually which two Canadian women I said earlier, but there's 3 Canadian women competing here: Emma Carey, Emily Rolfe, and Emma Lawson. The names are all kind of first names are all similar, so it's confusing, but Emily Rolfe is very good, and people don't often talk about her too much. She has 2 event wins at the games in her career, both on endurance-based events. So she's someone who could, have a couple top 3 finishes on a few events. She's pretty strong. She's pretty good. She was in the top 20 at the games this year, and she was 6th 2 years ago at Dubai. And the women that she lost to that year: Sarah Sigmundsdottir, Karen Frey, Sam Briggs, Gabby McGowan, and Jamie Simmons. It's not that bad of a group of women to be behind. So look out for her to do pretty well. And then we basically have them flipped. I've got Rolfe 5th. He's got her 7th. He's got Emma Carey 5th, and I've got her 7th. But, this is a good opportunity for Emma Carey because Mal O'Brien's not going to be at this competition. And in any other season, Emma Carey would have been getting a ton of praise, highlights, and media attention because no 17-year-old's ever done what she's done, except for the fact that there just happened to be 2 of them this year. And she was slightly worse.
Can I see Emily Rolfe's Instagram again? Now I recognize her. She's like
Matt was actually showing Emma Lawson's Instagram right there. Emma Lawson's the third Canadian woman in this field. She's only 16 years old, and she won the teenage division at the games this year.
Emma Carey's Canadian?
No, that wasn't Emma Lawson.
North American.
That's not Emma Lawson.
Okay.
This is Emily Rolfe.
Yeah, he had this up. Let me see her. I recognize her. She's like Wonder Woman. Does she have kids?
Oh my gosh. I don't think so.
Yeah, I remember her. She's a freak. Who's the girl we had on the show who was the last chance qualifier girl?
Emma Tall.
Emma Tall. Okay. Why isn't she doing this?
I don't know.
This seems right up her alley. Isn't she over there in Europe somewhere? She
Sweden. Yeah, I would have expected to see her here. Yes.
Interesting. And why did Karen Frey pull out? Do we know?
I do know.
She's pregnant.
No.
Oh. But you cannot say. You cannot confirm or deny.
I don't know. I don't think I'm supposed to say.
Is Dennis Olari wants us to ask, where would Mal O'Brien place if she was competing? Sorry, can't answer that unless you give $10. No, just kidding. Where does someone like that place, guys, if she's here?
I would probably say right where I have Emma Carey. So I would have Emma Carey and Mal O'Brien next to each other, 5th and 6th. I don't know which one I would have in front. Probably Mal, but that's where I would have her. Brian?
I was also thinking 5th.
Wow, so this is a fucking group of killers. Well, what's this? I don't think Emma Carey is going to get out of Mal's shadow by going to that training camp in Florida. Mal is training under Matt. Matt who? Matt who?
She was in a Matt Fraser post. I think she just went to visit him. She's not training under him. She's with James Townsend.
Matt Fraser Instagram. I'll tell you. Let me see this shit. What's going on here? Let me see what the fuck. Who
you
wrote
might
that?
have to search for it, but
Will
Justin Medeiros was there too. I think during the same time.
Meet Matt Fraser. Wow, that's an Instagram account with 258,000 followers. Oh shit, there's another Matt Fraser. We Never Die: Secrets of the Afterlife. Holy shit. Oh god, I need to have that guy on the podcast. Souza, see that guy?
No.
Let's have another Matt. Let's have all the Matt Frasers on the podcast we can. Let's just go out and we'll keep tricking Brian and John that it's going to be Matt Fraser so they come on to him. Oh, that's great. I'm bookmarking that account. Matt Fraser. Okay, so Matt Fraser.
It's on a Mal O'Brien post if you're looking for it, Souza.
Okay, thank you.
I think it's like the 7th picture, maybe.
Holy shit! Matthew Fraser has 2.4 million followers. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's got quite the following.
He talked back to me on Instagram one time. Matthew Fraser did.
The one that talks to people in the afterlife, or the CrossFitter one?
The CrossFitter one.
Okay, let's see. Let me read her bio real quick. Let's do some investigative journalism here. 18. Something about Christ, 3 times CrossFit Games athlete, 2021 Rookie of the Year, 2021 7th fittest on earth, something about Noble. Oh, she's like, there's no bullshit. She's followed by, I don't know who that is. Okay. Oh, great. Yes. Good job, Dennis. You're 1 penny short though. And where's the picture of? Let me see. Where was the picture of her and Matt?
One more down.
Okay,
so that one to the far left. Yeah, that's
so
Matt.
that doesn't mean anything because there was another picture of her and Katrin together. What's Morning Chalk Up say? Is Morning Chalk Up broken a story on Mal O'Brien going? Will, what do you know? Will, what do you know? She trained with him on 2 different occasions since Rogue. Buttery Bros had Mal doing Matt's HWPO with him. Someone probably spelt Matt with 2 T's.
That's a good question to ask James when you have him on the podcast.
I for sure did. James who?
Townsend.
Oh yeah, he's not coming on, dude. There's no fucking way he's coming. Yeah, do I do investigative journalism? Everything I'm doing is investigative. Everything. Investigating my thoughts half the time. Okay. So let's go back to the women one more time, or 6 more times. I don't mean to limit myself. Laura Horvath, Gabby, Kristen. Let me see who's who. Can you scroll down a little bit so I can see who picks who's is okay, there we go. You can't make that. Can you make it so I can see all 10 and their names? Oh, there we go. And Thury. Is Thury at the end of her career? What's Thury doing?
John?
I don't know. You probably have more information than I do.
Thury's good. Thury's good. I mean, I think she has 5 top 20 finishes at the games now. I mean, it's very impressive, consistent resume. Unfortunately for her, she's come up and been the exact same age as Katrin and Sarah Sigmund's daughter. And they're 2 of the most, personable and marketable and best competitors in the sport that come from the same place as her. It's kind of like the situation with Emma Carey and Mal O'Brien. Like, one of them is always going to be slightly behind. And Thury was slightly behind those 2 for the entirety of her career, but it's not to take anything away from the consistency at a very impressive level that she's shown.
And how old is she? Is she at the end, though, is my question.
29.
She's 30. It says 30 on her profile. So she's still got a few more years left. Thury's just always been in the exact same spot. She hasn't ever had a contest where she outdid her previous showings.
So she's going to be one of those athletes that the fuck I don't bench my body weight, you mother. Look at this guy. You're a jackass. 20
She probably
burpees.
doesn't weigh very much, Gregory.
No way 7 benches his body weight. Bench your mama. Bounce your mama off my lap. Hey, so she's one of those athletes that's not going to we're not going to know her until the day she retires. She's going to be like I'm going to burn in hell for this. She's going to be like Carrie Pierce and Kristen Holta. No one's going to care and then people are going to pretend to care when she's like, okay, this is my last event. And everyone's gonna be like, oh, the greatest. Oh, good job.
Whoa.
Okay.
We'll see.
She's not as
Because
good as those
both
2 people.
Both of their resumes are far superior to hers at the games, and they each managed to get on the podium at least once by the end of their careers.
Who, Carrie and Kristen?
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying Thury's not going to be that, even when she retires, no one's going to notice.
I don't know. By the time, she's still 4 years away from the age that Kristen Holta was when she podiumed the only time.
Okay.
So you never know, but like she's been doing this for a while. So I don't think that she's, I don't know. Like, I don't know how long and what drives these athletes to keep going, but she's been very consistent for the past 7 or 8 years, and she's still pretty good.
All right. Anyone else we want to talk about? Jacqueline Dahlstrom, Sam Briggs. I think those are the only 2 people we haven't drilled down on a little bit.
Yeah, I'll throw out one other person. I don't know a ton about her yet. It's Evie Hollis. She's 24. She's from the United Kingdom, and she placed 6th place in the semifinals, similar to Fabian Benitez and Karen Freyova, just 1 spot out of making it out of Europe. And on the women's side, we talked about how deep and impressive the women's field is. So I think that she's a bit of a wild card that could crack the top 10 that we don't necessarily know a ton about yet.
Going back to Karen, is whatever you know about her not being here gonna stop her from being at the games? Or are you like, what you know? Or are you like, oh shit, she's done?
It's just for this competition.
Okay. And are there any other? This may be a little bit of a strong statement, but Dubai is kind of Sarah's second home. I mean, Sarah's been there a long time, right? She's been there a month now, 2 months.
Yeah, and she's spent a lot of time there in the last 5 years. Like, some of her best friends have lived and worked there. She's gone there for training for extended periods of time. So she's very comfortable there.
Wouldn't
she's
it be
won.
cool?
She's won this competition before.
Wouldn't it be cool if she like married a prince or something?
I think she's won it twice. Or no, Sam Briggs won that year. That's right. Never mind.
And are any? So my question is: are any of the other girls or guys at home there? Have any of them been there a month and had a chance to adapt? 2 months.
Some of them live in the UAE, but I don't think they're like the heavy hitters like she is.
Does Elliot Simmons still live there?
No, I think they're in the UK now.
You can't call in on this show.
What is going on?
All right, let's just see. Oh, find out so quick if you fuck around. John, how are you? This better be fucking good.
I have a question about Laura Horvath.
But you can't just call in the show. This isn't a call-in show.
I know, but I called last night and I fell asleep watching.
Okay.
You said to call back in 2 minutes, and then I forgot.
All right,
Or
go.
I fell asleep.
Go. Yeah, you're lucky
All
you're
right.
asking a question about my favorite athlete who ever lived.
I know.
Shoot.
All right, so this is for
Hey,
All right,
listen,
so-
you people who call who tell us who the question's for. You don't get to decide. You throw the question out there, we'll field it.
All right.
It's my fucking
For the
show. I'll tell you.
specialist-
I'll pass it to who I want to. Whisper it to me, and then I'll pass it on.
why are we still giving Laura a pass on handstand push-ups? Is it? I don't think it's one of those movements that she can't get better at. And why does she not get better at? So this is for John and Brian and even Matt as a coach.
You asshole.
And not
Like, what the
Sevan. Do not
Thank you, John.
answer Sevan.
It's a fair question, but we all know the answer. That one's just hard to get
I
better.
mean, we've
at.
talked about
That's
this
the hardest
before.
one. Yeah.
I don't think it is though.
Okay. How many you got?
I mean, strict, I can do like 20.
And when you started,
And I'm
how many could you?
54.
And when you started, how many could you do?
Shit, a couple.
Oh, you couldn't just do 10? Because when I first started doing CrossFit, I could just do 10 easy. Like I just had.
No,
those.
I couldn't.
Oh,
I couldn't.
well, shit. Okay. All right. You can do 20 strict now,
Yeah,
and you only had a couple when you started.
It's pretty.
yeah, but
impressive.
I'm
That is
old
impressive.
school. I'm like 2010 when I started.
Shit. That's
I
when Brian
got-
started growing his beard.
I got 8 years CrossFit experience, and I can't. My PR is 2.
Too strict.
That's your fault.
2 strict
Brian.
consecutively.
You don't work
That's
at it.
What do you guys live before you answer his question? What do you think about his question?
I think we've talked about it before, and it's going to be the same answer. Is
Is it a fair question? Is it a fair question, or is he being a dick?
A little of both. Wouldn't you agree, Brian?
Yeah, I do think that there are a couple skills specifically that are very difficult for certain body types to adapt to or improve on. I think that's one of them. But in her case, the problem is that there's been a couple of times where it's also eliminated her from competitions altogether.
Yeah,
I don't know.
She has.
I mean, what
worked at
John's
the-
asking could cost her $50,000 this weekend.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think that's a pass. Like, she just lost $50,000.
Right.
You know, she gets it.
Right.
And does she look heavy to you guys? She looks really heavy.
What is her weight?
She looks heavy to me.
Well, it's funny you say that. If you want to go there, boy, now we're fucked. I didn't think I could get
Sorry.
canceled. Here we go. You look at the 2 years that Katrin's daughter won the CrossFit Games, and she was fucking thin around the waist.
Yeah.
Like one of those fucking dogs in college that you're like, you see at every party, you're like, who the fuck's this belong to? It's got like 15 ribs showing. But man, it's a badass dog. I went to school in Santa Barbara. Lots of dogs running around. And like she was fierce looking. And then you see her at Rogue, and by no means am I suggesting that she was fat, but she looked fucking thick. She looked fucking like she didn't look like a fucking runner. And that's how Laura looks. But Laura's an amazing runner. So I don't know what to say. Like, are you saying that Laura loses
And
fucking
so-
10 pounds
so
and then
let
what
me-
happens to her?
I think
don't
if
know.
she lost, if she were to lose weight, she would get better at handstand push-ups. I think that would actually help a ton, but she would lose everything she's good at.
Really?
But
Like
John, look at 2018. So I just watched the behind the scenes. When she got second, she's a total. Her body's completely different when she did her best than now, and it just makes you wonder.
I'm willing to bet she's better at handstand push-ups now than she was at 2018.
I will say,
right. Yeah,
but
she
I will
is
say
a little bit, not much.
that goes a long way with when I mean, I can only speak for myself, but the difference between me at 165 and 155, when I'm 155, like I'll do muscle ups all day fucking long. At 165, like the train stops.
Right.
Like
I'm the same way, Sevan.
I hit a point and then it's like, whoa, what the fuck? I also don't kip, but Laura doesn't have that fucking like the fucking rib cage showing like some of these fucking champions have. Even fucking Tia gets kind of skinny sometimes. You're like, shit. Hey, here's another thing. No fucking marathon winner. Brian doesn't want to touch this. Brian still wants to work in the space. He don't want to touch this one with 10-foot pole. No marathon winner is winning who's not dehydrated and probably malnourished. You don't cross the finish line in first place at the New York City Marathon unless you are dehydrated and possibly a little bit malnourished. It's just the fucking way it is, the way the human body works. No one's finishing who's hydrated. And you can even see there's a few years that Rich won the games where he's starting to look a little gaunt. His cheeks are sucked in a little bit. Now, Matt always made it a point he said he wanted the goal was to gain a pound at the games. And I think that was just like the mindset to make sure he ate enough.
Yeah.
But
he also bulked up before the games, knowing that he's going to come down.
Right. Ricky's looked a little gaunt as he finished the games. Even Vellner, who's a big dude, sometimes his face looks a little thin. I don't know. Only she knows. And Noah even claimed that maybe he was too heavy at the games. But for sure, Laura does not have that fucking ribs showing and like you're like, geez, man, like there's like.
And I'm not saying they have to, but she just looks. Man, she had so much potential. She just looks thick to me. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But you guys are awesome. Appreciate it.
You're good. Dude.
I'll call back another night.
No, don't do that.
Thanks, Sevan.
Okay, bye. No one wants to touch that. No one wants to touch that with a 10-foot pole. Too sensitive. Someone's gonna say that like, hey, we called her fat or we're promoting anorexia or some shit. We're not saying that fucking at all. We're just saying. We're just discussing shit. We're just discussing what is the best way for her to win the games. Maybe it's to put on 10 more pounds. No one would complain if we talked about it like that.
Sevan,
No, there's no one's hating on her, Teddy. No one's hating on her at all. No one's hating on her. I think people actually love her. I think people want her to win. She's brooding. What does brooding mean? She's brooding. She's brooding. Let me look up the definition of brooding. There's something brooding about her. The process of sitting on eggs so as they hatch. Nah, not that brooding. I must have spelled it wrong.
What did he say the other time, Brian? A spinner? Is that what it was?
Oh, about girls who are spinners. There's no spinners really in the CrossFit games. No females who are spinners. Maybe 30 or okay. Why did you do that? I don't want to talk about that. That's disgusting. How do you spell brooding? Why am I spelled brooding wrong? Where are you, Colin? How do I spell brooding? Why am I spelling it wrong? Like when someone's like brooding.
Brooding?
Yeah, do you know that word?
No, I've never heard that.
BROODING.
It's not that. It's like pouting kind of.
Sevan, any other questions about Dubai?
Here we go. It's serious and thoughtful. Deeply or seriously thoughtful. It's not right. I'm looking for. What did you say? Sorry, Brian.
Do you have any other questions about Dubai?
You want to wrap this up? Okay, let's look at the list one more time. Let me see.
Vivo.
No, I think I'm good. I really like your guys' picks. I hope all those people do really great. I'm excited to see it. Thursday, 4 a.m. I will be awake unless that changes. I'll be
There
getting
should
up.
be the times of the events should be announced tomorrow.
Okay. And do we know, is it going to be YouTube? Are we going to be able to watch this on YouTube?
Yes.
We should be able to, yeah.
Okay. And we're certain about Friday and Saturday watching it, but we're not sure about Thursday.
Correct.
Okay. Anything else we want to tell people?
Just make sure to like and subscribe.
Oh, yes. Always like and subscribe. Is Dubai more
And-
strength or cardio?
Traditionally, it's been cardio.
I think the test is pretty well balanced. I think it'll be. I think it'll test all the domains fairly well. But there'll be some stuff to talk about on the programming side following the competition for sure.
And when they release the workouts, is there any secret, like how they kept one at the end of Rogue, and how they in the games, like there's all these ones that we don't know until like minutes before, hours before? Will there be any of that?
I'm not sure. I don't know what their plan is. I think that you can expect some workouts to be released over the next couple of days, and for most of them to be known ahead of time.
And why would they tell you the workouts?
So that I can prep relevant data and information ahead of time. Also, I do a little consulting with them.
So you're on their payroll.
Brian made the workouts.
No.
Who did make the workouts? Do you know, Brian?
I got a couple group of guys who work on it. A couple
Okay.
guys.
But it's no one. It's not like the Dubai CrossFit Championship by Rich Froning.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. And we talked about the one woman pulling out. I think we got it. Anything else? Any dudes pulling out? Anything hairball? Anything? You have to be vaccinated for this? Okay, never mind. Well, thank you guys for coming on. We will, I think that probably what will happen is tomorrow, Brian will be like, oh my God, I forgot to talk about this, and this, even though he's acting like he wants to get off now. So we'll probably end up doing something tomorrow. Maybe even talk about the workouts. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. He's going to be throwing Frisbee golf tomorrow, and he'll be like, the workouts got out. You want to get on and do something? I'll be like, yeah, I'd love to. I love hanging out with you. And then we'll tell you about that too, John.
Okay, I appreciate it. I appreciate being included.
Always. Thanks, guys, for tuning in.
Thanks, guys.